Hello everyone, welcome to hrpreparation.com. NTA released a notification for December 2020 cycle. So this is called December 2020 cycle. So usually UGC NET exam was conducted twice in the year till 2019. So the first notification was out in the month of March, and exam will be exam was conducted in the month of June, and second notification was released in the month of September, and exam was conducted in the month of December. So this was the actually how UGC NET exam was being conducted. But due to this pandemic situation in 2020, there was only one exam was conducted, and so maybe that is the reason. So NTA released the notification in name of December 2020 cycle. So this exam will be held in the month of May 2021. The notification is called December 2020, but the exam will be held in the month of May 2021. So this is the actually notification released on 2nd February, and let's look into this notification for more details. So this is all about National Testing Agency. So if you want to know about the National Testing Agency, so this is the vision, mission, core values. But in this notification, we wanted to give you the info, which is very important information, which is given in this notification. So this index will help you to just skip the pages. So which point you wanted to know according to this point, so you can skip into this particular pages. So if you are go through this particular page, which is important information and dates at glance, so this is very important page. So if you go through this page, you can understand everything which is given in this particular notification of bulletin. So first of all, this is the online application and online registration and submission of the application form. Like, so we have to visit NTA website. This is the website we have to visit, and we have to click on this particular UGC NET application December 2020, and there is a window period for the online registration. Like, so you can start registration from 2nd February to March 2nd March. So this is the window period. So between these days only you can able to go with the online registration. So after 2nd March may or may not extend. So better to if you are interested, better to go with registration today itself. Don't be any delay in this particular point. And so this is the last date for the exam fee. So while you are completing your online registration, you can go with the payment mode also. If you are not able to do that, so till March 3rd 11:50 p.m. you can complete your payment part. So this is discussing about the payment part, fee. So the exam fee can be through credit card, debit card, net banking. So they have given here, so Paytm, and these are the modes. So you can go with credit card or debit card, net banking, if you have Paytm also, so for the payment part. And so what is the fee for the exam? So for this online registration, everybody should pay something, and there are different fee structure for the different categories. The first one is the general category. For the general category, they have to pay 1000 rupees, and for the general economically weaker section, EWS and OBC, non-criminal layer and NCL, these people have to pay 500, and SC, ST and PW and third gender, so these people have to pay 250 rupees. This is the fee structure for the online registration. And so after completion of the application, the online registration part, if any such kind of errors or mistakes, intentionally or without any aware of this something, if you done any mistake, if you want to go for any errors, not everything, few things can be allowed to modify it. So that is you can done. So there is a window period from the 5th March to 9th March only you can modify your details. Not all the details, few details only you can able to modify it. So dates of examination. So this NET exam will be held in the month of May, but there are given different dates. So these are the dates you can find. So because there are many subjects, so for everybody, so they have to allot different dates. So specialization wise they will allot one particular day or particular 2 dates. So depends on the NTA decision, they will be decided which date for which specialization. Like in our case we are applying for the paper code 55, like HRM, though that is called HRM or labor welfare or human resource management or industrial relations, whatever it is called. So they will allot one particular date for the examination. So everybody will have that exam on the particular one date. And exam duration, so the exam duration like 3 hours, so there is no break between the papers, and for 3 hours the exam duration for 3 hours for the both papers, paper 1 and paper 2. So we will explain what is paper 1 and what is paper 2 later in the next page. And timing of the examination, the timing of the examination, like this exam will be conducted in 2 shifts, first shift and second shift. The first shift like 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and second shift like 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So every day there will be 2 shifts for the examination. So you have to reach your exam venue prior to the timings. So as you know that. So these are the website, and nta.ac.in, and this is the website. You can visit this website for online registration link, and we will provide the online registration link in our description as well as in our article also. And while you are applying, while you are submitting your online registration form, so you have to keep in your mind few things, like, so there are 3 steps while you are filling the online application form. So the first step is like, so you have to give your details, like your email ID and mobile number. So the email ID and mobile number is very important, because you will get all information to your email ID and you will get a OTP to your mobile number. So these 2 should be valid, and this should be working right now, and it has to work for next 6 months. So while you are at step 1, it will ask the email ID and mobile number, your name, date of birth, and your category, your specialization, and your educational qualification percentages and everything. So Aadhaar card and all. So you have to get ready all your percentages in your academics, and you have to get ready with your all academic certificates and Aadhaar card and your photographs and your date of birth and your other things which are required for this. So the step 1 is for your primary details, and step 2, so once you done with your all primary details, and you will get one system generated number, which is very important. So with this system generated number, you have to note it down. With this number only you can able to do further modifications and anything, and you can download your admit card also. So you have to note it down, this one. And step 3, once done the primary process step 1, the step 3 is very important. You have to upload your scanned images. The scanned images like your recent photograph and your signature. So the signature and photograph, so there is a specifications to upload it, and while you are taking this photograph, that should be in the JPG and JPEG. This is the file format, and the size between 10 KB and 200 KB. Coming to this signature, you have to put your signature on the paper, take one snap or take one pic, and you have to crop it like between 4 KB to 30 KB. So this is the size we have to make it in the format. So this is also JPG and JPEG. So you have to get it ready, these also before or after completion of this step 1. You can again log in and you can do this step 3 also. So there is you can take time also. So stepwise also you can do it later. And step 4. So this step 1, step 3, step 4 not required to do at a time. You can do step 1 at particular time. After some time you can go with step 3. After some time you can go with step 4. But you have to log in again. And payment, as mentioned, category wise there is a fee structure, and you have to go with any online mode, like credit card, debit card, net banking, or Paytm. You have to use any of the payment gateway, and you can complete your payment part. So after completion of this, so you will get one confirmation page. This confirmation page you have to save anywhere, and you can take your printout also. This is very important. And at the stage 1, what we mentioned, so all are the personal details like your details and education qualification and all. So whatever you are submitting your details, so please cautious while doing this, because the details cannot be modified again and again. So while you are doing, so they already here mentioned, so you have to be very cautious, and you have to, before submitting the application, the stage 1, you have to recheck and reconfirm once again, because they already given here will be treated as final. So once you submitted, that will be considered as a final, so we can't modify it in the stage 1. So that is the reason you have to be very cautious. And as mentioned, so the email ID and phone number, mobile number, so these two are very important, because you will get the communication timely from the NTA. So if you have any issue with the email ID or phone number, you have to give alternative thing like your brothers or sisters number or your parents number, because this is the very important part for the communication. And regarding though, due to this pandemic situation, due to this COVID pandemic, and there are few instructions given, so we have to follow this. Like while we are going for examination, along with the admit card, we have to give the declaration or undertaking. This form is available on the website. We have to download it, and we have to complete filling the form, and we have to signature on that, and we have to submit at the time of examination. So, and you can take one transparent ball pen and one additional photograph. So this is also very important. So which is uploaded while registration, the same photograph you have to carry along with you while you are going for the exam. And you have to take your personal sanitizer bottle, the smaller one, and you can bring your water bottle. If you are the diabetic patient, you can take your sugar tablets, fruits, or which is required for your health. So these are the instructions specially given in this particular notification. You have to notice this point. So far we discussed about all the important information. So the which is given information description in this particular notification. So we discussed here briefly. And so if you want to know in detail, like each and every sentence you wanted to go through it, so this is the application for that. You can go through it, and this is the first time for you, just you can understand what is NTA, and so you can understand what is UGC, University Grant Commission, and so what is National Eligibility Test. And we made one article on our website, so that is called Career Opportunities with UGC NET. So if you are going to attempt this exam, so you have to understand what are the benefits and what are the career opportunities with UGC NET. So there is a great article we have given, and so what are the opportunities and career growth with the UGC NET exam, and all are given in this particular article. We will provide you that link in the description, as well as it is available on our website hrpreparation.com under blog section. You can visit that particular page. So as mentioned, this notification is called December 2020 cycle. The exam will be conducted in the month of May 2021. So, and now you can understand the mode of examination. The mode of examination, this is the online exam, like this is the computer based test. So you can't attempt this test mentioned examination center. You have to go there, exam hall, exam venue, and you have to give your exam over there. And exam pattern. So this exam pattern, so this exam actually consists of 2 papers with 150 questions, and there are paper 1, Paper 1 is with teaching and research aptitude, reasoning ability and reading comprehension. This is called general paper. This paper 1 is common for everyone, like for all specialization the paper 1 is common. So there are 50 questions and each question carries 2 marks and total marks are 100. And paper 2 is specialization, like subject selected by the candidate, like whatever you have done your post graduation, like in our case. So if you are done your MBA HR or PGDM or MHRM, MHRD, so your specialization could be human resource management. In that case you have to select human resource management as a subject. So that subject is called in this particular notification as like personal management oblique human resource management oblique industrial relation oblique labor welfare oblique. So this is you can understand in the last page, so we can go through that part also. So paper 2 consists of the 100 questions. Each question carries 2 marks and the total marks are 200. The total for the exam is 300 marks. So this is the exam pattern. And one more point is that for the 150 questions you have to spend 3 hours of time, means you have to stay till the completion of the 3 hours in the exam hall, and there is no break between the papers. So there is no break. This point you have to carry, you have to note it down. So break means you can go to washroom and all, that is not, you can't come out from the examination hall. So this is the actually 3 hours we have to spend in the particular examination hall. Subject and syllabus. So as mentioned, in our case our subject may be human resource management. So the subject is okay, and syllabus. The syllabus is available on UGC Net website as well as, so this is the link, actually you can find the link to check the syllabus for the paper 1 and paper 2. And syllabus is given on our website also, hrpreparation.com, and syllabus, exam pattern, everything was given, and you can go through that particular article which is hrpreparation.com / blog. In the blog you can find the syllabus, so you can go through it. Medium of question paper. The question paper in English and Hindi, so this is the medium, so you can select either language and you can complete your exam. And marking scheme, so the marks and all. So as mentioned, there are 150 questions for the both papers, and each carries 2 marks and the total is 300 marks. So this is the marking scheme. So the eligibility criteria. So the eligibility criteria is dividing into the 2 parts. One is the qualifying exam. In the qualifying exam, 55 marks minimum for the general, unreserved and EWS category, and 50% marks in your academic, in your PG for the OBC cadre, OBC category, non-creamy layer, and SC, ST and PWD. Last one is the third gender. So SC, ST, PWD, third gender and OBC non-creamy layer, so they have to have minimum 50% marks in your PG. So this is the qualifying exam criteria. And last thing is that if the person who already appeared for the exam and final year exam and waiting for the results, so those people also can apply for this online registration form, and they have under this same category 55 and 50% according to their reservation category. And third gender. So the third gender, this is one more important point for anybody, third gender, and the third gender is equivalent to the SC, ST, PW category. So these people will under this SC, ST, PW category. And one important point we have to note it down. So according to your specialization only, you have to select your paper, the paper code. So we have paper 1 and paper 2, right? The paper 1 we have to select according to our specialization. If your specialization is human resource management in your MBA, so you have to select the human resource management oblique labor welfare oblique industrial relation oblique personal management. So that is the paper code 55. So you have to select paper code 55 only. So this is the point actually they mentioned. They are very clear about the subject. This point you have to note it down. And you no need to send any printouts or any documents to the NTA. So you are submitting your online registration form, right? That is enough. So no need to send any physical documents to anybody like NTA or UGC. So no need to send to both bodies. There is important point. So many people confused here. So actually NTA UGC NET exam for the one is for the JRF and second one is the lectureship or assistant professor. So there is a criteria for the assistant professor and the JRF. So we have to understand that particular criteria. The next one we are going to discuss. And if you are going to, you have to decide first of all, you are going to apply for only assistant professor or only JRF, or you are going to apply for both. So this you have to decide while you are applying for the online registration form. So you have to understand the criteria for this, eligibility criteria first, then you have to decide either you have to apply or you have to apply for the both. So there is exemption for the assistant professor cadre here, not for JRF. So the people who already qualified SET or SLET, state eligibility test and all. So there is a one exemption here given. So if you are qualified, you have to go through the 5.3 point. Yes, this is very important next to the qualification criteria. The qualification criteria we already discussed the percentage. So now we are discussing about age. So as discussed just now for the JRF and lectureship, for the JRF there is a age criteria. The age criteria like the max age is for the JRF is 31 years for the general category. But if you are OBC person or any reservation you have, so there is a exemption for the, or you can call the age relaxation for 5 years. So 31 plus 5 years. Now you have to decide if you are eligible for the JRF. Now you can choose JRF or assistant professor or lectureship, or you are interested for both, you can go for both. But if you are a general category person, if your age is more than 31 years, you are not eligible for the JRF. You are eligible for only for the lectureship or assistant professor. And there is one more exception here. So there is 3 years relaxation for the people who qualified LLM degree, and the people who serve for the armed forces also there is a relaxation for 5 years. But there is a condition like the length of the service. The length of the service is the criteria for the relaxation. Okay, if you are under this category, you have to look into this. And so we just discussed about JRF age criteria. Now we are discussing about assistant professor or lectureship age criteria. So there is no age limit for the assistant professor. And according to the government norms, there are few seats reserved for the category wise. The seats will be reserved like 15% for the SC and 7.5% for the ST, 27% seats for the OBC non-creamy layer, 10% seats reserved for the general economically weaker section EWS, 0.4% seats reserved for the PW cadres, which is 40% more disability. And one more also here, the people who belongs to Kashmiri migrant people. So this is the one more condition here. You can refer this academic session 2021, 22. So if the person under PWD, so they have to refer point 7. So this is the point number 7 is very important for the PW people. So here, as per the statutory like section 2T of the RPWD Act, so what it instructs, what it gives the instruction and guidelines, so that under those are applicable to this particular examination, and the facilities and so the category, type of disability, and a specified disability, so all are given here. The point 7 is very important for the people PWD, and point 8 is for the facilities for the PWD to appear the examination. So during exam, so what are the facilities can be availed, so this point can be useful for the PWD people. And choice of cities examination. So you have to select your city, you have to select your state, your city, and exam center and all. So the list of these cities and centers is given in Annexure 3. So that you have to refer once, and we will go through it also in the end of this particular video. So there given the states and the territories, their codes. So for everything there is a code, like cities they have a code, center there is a code, and specialization there is a code, qualification there is a code, and paper which you are going to appear, that is also having one different code. So we will go through it also in this video. And general instruction, we already discussed all the points at beginning, so no need to go through it again. So list of subjects. So people may get confusion here. This is Annexure 2. So this is for the paper 2. So in the paper 2, which subject we have to select for the exam. So this is called subject, net subject. So we have to keep in our mind, this is talking about the net subjects codes. Okay, here in our case we can understand serial number 33. So the code, the subject is like the paper subject is if you are MBA HR or PGDM or MHRD or MHRM, so you are the person, if you want to go for UGC net HRM paper 2, so you have to select this one, like labor welfare, personal management, industrial relations, labor and social welfare, human resource management. So this is the actually subject name, and the code is 55. So that is the reason we mentioned everywhere paper code 55. So for the exam, your subject is paper code 55 as labor welfare, personal management, industrial relations, labor and social welfare, human resource management. So this is the paper you have to select while you are going to opt for this subject as paper 2. And so this is the cities, centers. So cities and centers, there is a code. So this is your state, and this is your city, and this is your city code. So which this code will help you out to select your center city for the center. So which if you want to appear in so and so state and so city, then you have to select any of the code which is the you are going to select. So select it. After that it will ask the examination center also, so we will go through it. No need to confuse here. The first one is for the UGC NET paper code, like for the paper 2 which subject you are going to appear the exam, and here you can understand the subject at your post graduation level means, so what is your specialization in your PG, like your post graduation, like in our case I can tell you. So you done your MBA HRM, so MBA is your post graduation, like MBA is the degree, HRM is the specialization. For that specialization your code will be 850. Okay, subject under your post graduation is 850. Now you can understand your post graduation course and code. Yes, so you have done your MBA, so then first you have to select, in the first stage you have to select your qualification. In the qualification you have to select first MBA with code is the 12, then you have to select the specialization as this one with 850. So this is for your qualification part, not for the exam subject part. So once you done this part, then you will be asked about the paper. Choose the paper or subject for the exam. Then you have to select paper code 55. Now here, this is also important part. Your state and territory code. The first one earlier we see in the city codes. Now this is the state codes. State codes, first you have to select your state. The state you have to select the code. Under state you have to select your city. So earlier we discussed about the city code. That city code you have to enter. Then only the examination center will be picked out from that particular list. So hope this is the actually notification for the UGC NET exam. So these are the all complete details we have given, and you have to visit NTA website, and then you have to go with registration, online registration form. You have to give your credentials like your email ID and all, and complete the registration part. Then you will get one printout. Just keep with you or save in the PDF form. And while filling the application, you have to be very cautious. Please cross check each and every option which you selected, because the stage 1 cannot be modified once submitted. So that is the very important. If you have any concern or any doubts, so just WhatsApp us for the clarification. Definitely we will assist you. Thank you very much for watching this video.